Thanks for participating in prayer and in joining the Poggemillers with their update. We're just excited to be able to do that together in this kind of setting. We have been studying the book of Acts now for almost a full 7 months. Whether we like it or not, summer's coming to an end. And so I need to tell you what's going to happen in the next couple of weeks. Just to give you a heads up. And so I want to do that first. Over the next couple of weeks, we'll have a little bit of change to the schedule. We're not going to be in the book of Acts next week. Next week, we're going to have a special kind of lengthy refresh ministry report. So the recent trip this summer where many of our global workers were gathered together for refresh. We're going to have some of the team come next week and talk about some of those victories and blessings from the time together at Refresh. And so we want you to be able to be a part of that because many of you contributed by sharing finances, for praying for us and those kinds of things. So we want you to be aware of what the great value of that was. And then after that time, Pastor Nathan will be here to share with the group that's here a devotional time together with him. And then for 2 weeks, we won't have the Wednesday night gathering. At the end of the summer, with just the busyness of the schedule, we've found that having some time to be able to have a little margin in schedule is helpful. But then one of those nights too is going to be some training around campus. So if you serve in different areas, you may be involved in some gatherings that take place in that kind of way on one of those nights. And so we have some space in the schedule for that across the whole ministry here at Heritage. And then on August 27th, we'll start back in the fall Wednesday night gathering schedule where we'll pick up in the book of Acts again to go through this next year as we keep marching through how God is building his church. In the book of Acts. And so I want you to be a part of that and look forward to continuing the study. I'm even making, hopefully, a little bit of a reason to come back because tonight we're going to start a passage and we're not going to finish it until the 27th. So just get you to come back for it. We are, in fact, jumping into the single longest account of an event in the book of Acts tonight. We won't even cover it all in this week and the 27th. It'll still be happening after that. But the single longest event in Acts is as we look at Cornelius and Peter and the beginning of the Gentiles joining the church. So we're really excited. This is the history of how we began to be involved in the church. And so this is really exciting and kind of personal for us as we get into this. And so I want to encourage us to really, dive into that and spend some time thinking about what God has done to go beyond just his people of Israel, but also that this is not new necessarily in Acts 10. This is the character of God from way back all the way to his covenant with Abraham of being a blessing to the nations, that we're going to see the nations begin to come to Jesus in this time. So on Sunday, Pastor Nathan taught from the book of Ruth, and in his tradition, as he's been going through some of the Old Testament books, he gave Ruth a new name. Does anybody remember the name of the book of Ruth? The book of Providence. Yeah, very good. I'll tell him that you listened. The book of Providence. Tonight, we're going to get to see some very specific acts of God's gracious providence in the lives of people to bring them together to be able to see some come to Christ that would not otherwise have known. And so we're excited for that. Also, last week in the gathering, Pastor Mike said that he was teaching a tale of two healings.